Good morning, my YouTube friends. How are you all doing today? I wish for you all a great day. All right. The question before us reads, what are your thoughts on divorce? A very deep and complex question this can be. But before I share my thoughts, let me provide an affirmation for today. Love can be a beautiful journey if you are able to focus on the positive things within your relationship. Amen. All right, let's get to the question. Let me say that my response or my thoughts on this question will be from a biblical perspective. Please bear that in mind. Now, in the Bible, marriage is considered a sacred covenant between two people and God. So here are some key biblical principles regarding divorce. Like I said before, marriage is a covenant. In other words, it is like an agreement or a promise. Okay? So Genesis 2 verse 24 reads, "Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh." Another version says, "Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother, and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." So here we recognize that this verse emphasizes the unity and commitment that should be in a marriage. We move on to the teaching of Jesus himself in Matthew 19 verse 6. It reads, "Wherefore there are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let no man put asunder." And another version says that, "So they are no longer two, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let no man separate." So Jesus here is highlighting the sanctity of marriage. And I could also say the intention for marriage, which would be a lifelong, as in the vow it may mention, "Until death do us part." Okay, now there is another verse here that I would like to bring to your attention. As a matter of fact, two verses. The same St. Matthew 19 verses 8 and 9 reads, "He saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives. But from the beginning it was not so. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committed adultery. And whoso married her which is put away, that commit adultery." So what we're seeing here is, I would want to pose it in a question form. Does Matthew 19 verse 9 gives freedom, or maybe I could say give the permission to remarry, or just to be divorced? something to think about. Take a moment and reflect on that question. Okay? So, interpreting this verse for some individuals can be complex. And there are various views out there on these verses that I just read. And different Christian denominations have their own explanation as well towards these verses. Here is my final verse, 1 Corinthians 7, verses 10 and 11. Here are some further guidance from Paul himself. To the married, I give this command, not I, but the Lord. The wife should not separate from her husband, but if she does, she should remain unmarried or else be reconciled to her husband, and the husband should not divorce his wife. So it would appear here that Paul was against divorce, but also open an avenue, if I may use the term, for reconciliation if separation happens. In closing, let me say that my thoughts on the question would be based on the biblical perspective that I may mention of. If for any reason you are not sure of what to do in this situation, please reach out to your church leaders, a marriage counselor, or a lawyer for more clarifications on the matter. Thank you so much for listening, and see you next time.